What's it like being back around here?
Oh, it's been great. I've really enjoyed it. Obviously, spent first 18 years of my life here, and it's been great. We've got a lot of really good young players. It's been fun to be around. Obviously, get a chance to be around family, and back here and trying to help the program accomplish something cool.
What can you kind of walk through the steps of how you ended up getting in this position where you're coaching?
I think the one thing is that I knew when I was done playing that I needed to, or I wanted to stay involved in baseball, and didn't quite know what capacity. But having four kids and being away a lot as a player and playing, um, this was a good fit. And when Josh asked me if this is something I wanted to do, it was a really good fit for us as a family because I get to be here and it's not quite as consuming as professional baseball. And I can still get to a lot of my kids' activities and be around my family a lot. So um, it just seemed like a good fit, kind of a good next step for me in my life and having the opportunity to be here and be around Josh and this staff and get a chance to still be involved with baseball and helping young players was appealing to me.
What do you wish you would have known when you were these players' age?
Um, I think just looking at the long game, I think sometimes, these college guys sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming. Just kind of the sport takes a kind of a big step forward from high school to a major college like this, and I think just kind of trying to help them understand uh, if their goals are to be a professional baseball player, some of the things that they need to, the sacrifices that it's going to take to get to the highest level. And I think sometimes in college you want to make sure you enjoy being in college, but there's also sacrifices that come with trying to reach the next level. So I think trying to help them understand the long game, if that's their goal to be a professional baseball player, which when you come to Oklahoma State, I assume all these kids would love to play professional baseball. So just trying to offer them some insight and some experience of all the small details that it takes to ultimately accomplish that.
What are the toughest sacrifices that you have to walk them through?
Well, I just think it's the little things, from healthy eating, from healthy habits, from sleeping and taking care of themselves and having their priorities in order and taking care of their academics and scheduling their day and making sure that when they go home at night that they're thinking about the sport and their craft and the all kind of consuming that it takes to be a professional baseball player um, and the dedication that it takes and doing the little things that other people aren't willing to do, I think is what kind of separates people at this level and even into the next level.
When did you start scheduling your days and setting those priorities?
One thing I had obviously my brother and my dad to watch and growing up, and I got a chance to be around a lot of major league players as a youth, even going back to Robin and getting a chance to watch great players when I was a kid. So I had an advanced, probably routine at 18, 19 years old. But I think really when you get into the minor leagues and you start to see the big pond that you've just walked into, even more so than when you come to college. You walk into the minor league clubhouse, you see guys from all over the world. It becomes a very worldly game the moment you step into a minor league clubhouse. So I think you have to understand, you start to look around and you say, I'm not just competing against kids from Oklahoma or United States. Now you're competing for spots around the world. So I think it immediately punches you in the face that if you're not willing to do things that others are doing, if you're not willing to do that, then it's hard to separate yourself because the talent level is so high.
You mentioned Robin. How rewarding is it to be able to work with him on the same staff now?
It's really cool. He's just a great guy. He's got a ton of baseball knowledge that I think goes without saying. But I think his presence and just his cool and calm demeanor and is fun to be around for me. It's fun to be around for our staff and then also the players. I think he just brings a really appealing way of bringing baseball knowledge and helping young guys that is pretty fun to watch.
He told me that some of the his old teammates and guys like that are kind of jealous that he gets to go back. You've been in a lot of clubhouses too. Would guys want a chance to go back like this?
I think there's something to sort of the college game, and then it's still amateur baseball, and these kids are at a very kind of forming age and getting a chance to be around, especially when you start getting into that age where you want to be around younger people, younger players. They kind of bring some of that exuberance and youthfulness that you remember yourself as. I think that there's something appealing about being around college age kids and the formative years of their life and having a chance to impact not only their baseball careers but giving them help in their life and relationships and how they're dealing with all the challenges of being a teenager these days and as they go into the next phase of their life and being able to help them kind of maybe avoid some of the pitfalls that are out there. So it's I think there is something appealing to guys and pros that say, hey, the it's not quite as a strenuous of a schedule. Obviously, you don't play as many games, and so there's a little bit more home time, and it's a little bit more of a normal life than the minor league coaching, minor league managing, major league managing, major league coaching, even major league playing lifestyle. So I think there's an appeal to that as well.
Whenever you talked about moving back, you talked a lot about family. You could have moved your family just about anywhere. Well, why keep them here in Stillwater?
Well, I think that, like I said, getting a chance to coach and get a chance to be around my brother and his family, and my parents are here, and my wife's family's an hour away. So this was a good opportunity for us to be around our families, and at the same time get a chance to be around baseball and get a chance to still be involved in a competitive environment. Getting a chance to help with something that I love to do, which was baseball, and something that I feel like I know a little bit about. And really, I don't have many other hobbies, so it was, if it'd be one thing if I loved to golf and do, I had a bunch of hobbies, but I really don't.
How enjoyable was it for you to go back to Stillwater High games and watch Jackson play and stuff like that?
Yeah, like I said, that's part of the appeal. I think of being back here is to get a chance to kind of it's easy, seems easier to get to games and get a chance to be around him and my other kids and their activities and having a boss where I can say, hey, I need to skip out a little early to get to Norman or Edmond or Mustang or wherever we're going that particular night. So that's been great. It's been really fun for me to get a chance to be at all their stuff and swing by their practices and give them some of the time maybe that I had to forfeit in the years prior.
Is your boss pretty nice about that stuff?
Yeah, and I tell him all the time I'm the volunteer, so he's not paying me anything, so I can kind of come and go as I please.
What restrictions does that volunteer title, if any, have? That's not something everybody has.
For the most part, it's recruiting off campus is pretty much all the restrictions that I have. It's all about when you can call people and when you can. I can't go off campus recruiting. But I would say, that's just about it as far as restrictions go.
How is recruiting for you? I know you said you can't go off campus, but what's that like for you? Because you played Major League Baseball where you might recruit a free agent. Try to pitch. Is it similar
I think
to
it's
that?
fun.
Is it?
I think it's fun. I like it. I think it's cool when you get to a chance to meet kids and their families when they come on campus, and they can call me. I think at the 21s and 22, they can call you. So I've got a chance to talk on the phone to some kids, and I like to talk hitting. I like to talk, about what they think when they're hitting and stuff like that. So I've enjoyed that part of it because I think obviously. The more higher end talent that you're able to bring in, the better chance you have to help them get to a higher level, and it ultimately helps us and our team's success. So, I think the relational part of it is cool. Getting a chance to know kids, like I said, and their families is something that I enjoy, it's probably nice that I don't have to go sit in Atlanta for 4 straight weeks in the summer like these two, 3 guys, but. I'll get a chance to do some of that with Jackson and Ethan anyways, so I like it. It's been cool.
Going with the hitting, Alex Garcia, last season you saw him a little bit. He struggled at the beginning. that Josh said he's really worked his way up and got his hitting in check. What have you seen from him?
Well, I think Alex is a mature kid. Obviously, he's been through many games and has a lot of experience and a very mature kid. I think just some mechanical adjustments that Josh helped him make last year elevated his game, and just some little things that we're working on to make sure that he knows about himself. I think sometimes as kids, you don't even know your own swing very well, so trying to help him help himself to where he can make pitch to pitch adjustments, to where we don't have to wait till the next day or wait till the end of the series to make some adjustments when things get a little off kilter. So he's very strong. He's going to hit in the middle of our order. He's very tough out. He's got a great two-strike approach. He's one of those ones where he's low maintenance for me, and just some little things here and there that he gets a little off with. But the thing I like about him is he expects a lot out of himself. He takes the game very serious, and he's going to be a big part of our offense.
Do you notice more confidence out of him after this season he had
No
last
doubt.
year?
I think anytime guys come from junior college, they're not exactly sure where they fit or what their success level might be. And I think obviously when you have success, it builds confidence. And, I think he's taken on more of a leadership role this year. And I think his expectations of himself are much higher than maybe when he first got here. And I think that's our expectation as a staff from him is to be one of the older guys and leaders and bat in the middle of the lineup and carry the load and be one of those guys to take that kind of next step forward.
Josh talked a lot about Caden Polkovich too. What have you seen from him? He keeps talking about how explosive he is, and I know he's not a very big guy. I mean, I covered him in high school.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the deceiving part of him if you just saw him. But I think that his overall game is going to be fun to watch for the fans and be very important for us, is that he can do a lot of different things. We're probably going to ask him to hit in the middle of the lineup, and we're going to ask him to do a lot of different things. As a switch hitter, he'll be in there no matter what the matchup is. We may have to play different positions. He can run. He can hit for power. He had a great summer in the Cape Cod League. So I think there's obviously high expectations for him. I think he's a pro prospect. I think there's going to be scouts here to watch him, and he can do a lot of different things. He's got some arm strength. He's got a pretty overall really sound game, and besides managing two swings, which is always a challenge, because switch hitters, it's like you're having to manage two different things. So, but he's a confident kid. It's kind of a spark plug type player. Plays with a lot of energy. You'll never see him dog a ball to first base. He runs everything out, and like I said, I think the fans will enjoy watching him play. He's fun to watch.
When you do some recruiting, you ever noticed any guys being a little starstruck talking to you? Just
not that I've noticed. I try to make them feel comfortable and get them talking about the things that I know that they're comfortable talking about. Most baseball players, if you just initiate conversation about hitting or things that they're comfortable talking about, you can get past kind of that awkward stage pretty quick. So I haven't noticed anything like that. So I like to think that I'm somewhat of an unassuming guy. I don't try to get on there and throw my resume at them. So I just like to talk to kids.
Going even back to last year, you went to a lot of basketball games. You obviously had a lot of baseball games. Has it just been nice to be back around the university?
Mm-hmm. I enjoy going to sporting events and being around athletes, and I like the competitive environment and just watching people compete, and it's been fun. Like I love to go to other sporting events and get to know the other athletes, and it's been pretty cool.
Anything else for Matt?